every day, and especially during the holiday season, freight management technology helps truck drivers locate more loads so they can get that everyday essentials. The logistics are even more critical during the holiday season when many of us rely on important deliveries. Now, new data from truckstop.com shows how many truck drivers are committed to taking more loads during the holidays so they can transport vital goods across the country amid a pandemic and in time for the holidays. Technology expert Paul Hochman is here to talk about the essential role that truck drivers play and the role technology plays during the busy holiday season. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The supply chain that a lot of people have been hearing about, a central part of that is obviously trucking. And one of the reasons I think a lot of people think truckers are heroes is because at one point or another, truckers are out there on the road 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is obviously the case because everything we're wearing, the water bottle I just sipped from a few minutes ago, everything we use at home, almost all of it at one point or another was on a truck. To give you a little perspective, there are 3.5 million heavy truck drivers, that's the 18-wheel truck, heavy rigs, out on the road every day. And the big challenge that they have, obviously, is efficiency. So in the old days, and there's been a huge technology shift, I'll tell you about it, which is dramatically improving supply chain. But in the old days, there was only what was called the spot market. Basically, a person who wanted to ship something had to call or email truckers everywhere, truckers they had contacts with, to try and get their load shipped. And truckers were in exactly the same really challenging boat, meaning they had a rig and they wanted to get some load to take from one place to another to make their money. Truck drivers spend an average of $30,000 to $60,000 a year on fuel, so obviously constant income makes a huge difference. Well, truckstop.com is a platform, a software platform. It's sort of a dating site almost for truckers and loads. And the way that works is that truckers go to this platform, they know what kind of rig they have, whether it's a small truck or a big rig, and what they end up doing is they need to know exactly what kind of load's going to fit that truck. So truckstop.com's platform offers up to, on an average day, there are 1 million loads that need to be moved. And truckers go up there and they know they have, say, a refrigerated truck, and there's out there, they find on that load board, they find a refrigerated load that needs to move from one place to another. Well, now they have literally a click away from connecting their truck or their load to each other, result a much more efficient market. Now, this is a big deal. If you, again, trying to put scale on it, truckstop.com says that there are about $1 of every $22 in gross domestic product, it goes through trucks. So that's a $22 trillion gross domestic product in the U.S. That's the biggest in the world. Obviously, truckers figure heavily. And truckstop.com is trying to make it easy for them, make it more efficient, and anything that's more efficient at this point is helping supply chain hugely. In fact, truckstop.com is actually offering Loadboard Pro subscriptions to try and help this out for up to 100 drivers. They're gifting these subscriptions, which make it even more efficient. One last thing I guess I would mention is that there are 500 million miles a day traveled by truckers every day. So one of the things you can do to help them out, help out truckers, is order a little early. Holiday is obviously coming up. A lot of people get gifts for others during the holiday. And if you order now, or you start to look at things now and start to order now, you're actually taking a huge strain off the trucking industry, which, as I said, I think is pretty heroic in delivering all this stuff. That's one thing you can do. And the other thing you can do is give them a little space. And I know that sounds silly, but really, truckers have said to me, to many people at truckstop.com, if they get a little room between them and the traffic in front of them or behind them, or you give them lots of turn signals and lots of warning that you're going to move, it helps them immeasurably. And obviously the new infrastructure bill that's coming is going to help roads and so forth, but the number one thing you can do is order early to try and help truckers, reduce the strain on them, and of course you can also give them a little room on the road. I guess one last thing I would mention with the cost of fuel being so high, if you really are thinking about how you can help the trucking industry. Also, when they show up, smile. They've had long days. These guys and ladies are on the road 24/7. They have said to me and to others, it makes a huge difference if you happen to be home. Just thank them. They are making it possible for all of us to have a good time in the holiday and to enjoy the gifts that they've delivered. So again, huge industry, huge supply chain challenges. You can actually make it a little bit easier. And oh yeah, before I forget, one last thing. If you're interested in more information about this and you do want to help truckers, go to truckstop.com/holiday, HAULIDAY.
For more information, you can visit truckstop.com/holiday.